Cool.
Cool. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are live. This is our second podcast to make us and everyone discover our product. So last week we were discussing about what was technology and security. We was really discussing about the products, the technology, the architecture around it, and just starting to give you a really resume on what it is. So today we're going to talk about design, branding, why it's more or less what is the design behind it, and what images we want. So today we have two members of the team who join us back. Would like to introduce them. So we have Steve Glazer, CTO. For you to know, CTO means Chief Technology Officer, for those who don't know about it. And second, we have Mattison. I say it right for this time, so that's fun. We is our head social media. Those two are here. How was your weekend? Good? Everything was great?
Very good. Very good.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Had a good time.
That's nice. For people who joined us here, we met between other Monday and Tuesday. We already met us, but we didn't have some time to discuss. So we're going to start to enter right directly into it, showing you a bit for the first object, which is really, we are going to talk about the branding. So how the brand came up and what did we want it to make.
Okay. Should we start with the video?
Yes, let's go for it.
Awesome.
Right.
So we want to introduce you the video for the people or the people that hasn't saw it. We really want to make a little trailer without undisclosing all the technology in it, but we are right now doing a pre-launch. You can see, right, for those people who don't, what it is, this video and why we did it. So you can pre-order. That's cool. So we're gonna go straight directly into the subject, which is mainly why we create O and why the branding is inside of it. So when we started to create the product and all the branding, our idea through that was to create something very chic. Always through a product, we need three things, which is actually the technology with the vision around it. Two, it's about what is the design of the product. And three, it's what are the value we want to bring to the brand. We really wanted to create a piece of jewelry where you will take the product and you will think that, and you can be able to customize it. So these are some colors that you have. This is the mood board that we create. I will leave Mattison. I'm gonna say it right this time. Matt, very sorry to don't spell it well. You're gonna hate me. Uh, so just want to we're gonna open the discussion in the chatting about that. So Steve, Mattison, what is for you the brand about the product? What do you want to see around the product and the image we want to send through the market?
Well, and for color, quite often when you look at different products, especially technology products, and my interaction with technology products would go way back to the 80s where everything was this boring tan color like my sweater and there was nothing there, right? It was pretty gross. And then some manufacturers and product companies started to sort of add a little color. They thought, well, maybe technology could use a little color because it was pretty boring. And so for me, I always gravitated towards, well, you can see I actually look like one of our bands. That particular band is called Orange Green, bright orange. And but that wasn't by choice. It turns out it's what I grabbed out of my closet when I got ready. But anyway, but I have a lot of color. I like canary yellow as a shirt. I'll wear bright purples. I'll wear all sorts of colors. And some of the old sports watches that I've had in the past, I would always go into the accessories and order all the different colored bands because sometimes I just change it with my clothing. Like I might be wearing a particular sweater and maybe it's kind of muted, so I would just add a brighter, snazzier band, just for the heck of it, right? And it's just going out to dinner, hanging out with friends, or just going to the park. So I think that's just sort of the way all of us gravitated together. I think all of us on the team are all really focused on wanting color, wanting to be able to have your own personal version of this device. And I think that's kind of where we started to go. And then I just like the fact that we get a chance to like make up colors and different sorts of things as we go.
It's definitely being able to add that like that personal touch, being able to put your own spin on it, or being able to choose that hue, that color that's really says something about you or like how you're feeling. You know what I mean? Like so before I used to choose the color black all the time. I just really like the color. It's a great color, fantastic color, right? However, I started experimenting a little bit more with different colors, shades, hues, all that kind of stuff, and when I'm looking at this nude board, the feeling that I get is almost like a calming, at peace, but it's also a very free and like just like happy and excited, like in a calm kind of way. You know what I mean? It's like it's like my shirt. Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Colors are really nice. We for today we are mostly use of gray, white, and black. Even cars are mainly all those colors. We didn't have this problem back in the 80s. I don't know if you remember all the types of colors we had with 80s, 90s, or even I wasn't born, but 70s, 60s, even on the Californian coast and around the world. The colors was really helping each people to see something different. Black, white, and gray. It's really a shady gray where at the end of the day it doesn't bring you happiness or maybe other stuff like creativity or making work. It's like Matt, you have your shirt, but if you put like red, orange, da da da, now we see you everywhere with the colors, because the colors, people get attracted to colors. When you go to Cuba and you see all those cars that's still around with colors, it's now the vision, it's way more fun, and even on the brain you're more happy.
Right. It almost like whenever you see colors like this, especially out in the wild, it's almost as if like it just adds to your color memory bank, and you're like, that color exists. I'm going to look for that color now whenever I go somewhere. And it's cool to have a product that actually has some of those colors like existing. That's really cool.
Oops, sorry. So this is the packaging color. So those are some direction. Of course, it's not the final of it, but we wanted to show you that we are in everywhere, and we have developed a company to advance. So we're pretty ready in a lot of aspects. Those are some direction of the packaging, but we will keep this touch and a really great experience when our pre-orders, adopters with the product will be able to open the product. We want to keep it secret, but this gives you really where we are looking for and how we're going to develop to the packaging with the time.
It's really cool how each of those colors really they stand out in their own way. They kind of give off its own personality, I guess. Just looking at looking at the packaging direction. I don't know. There's something about that. That's cool. So, yeah,
well, you're right, and it's not just some weird square rectangle-y thing,
right? Or just all white.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The last one there. Yeah, you're right.
You know,
who are we talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know, right?
But this is something that's like it's different. Like you remember. We'll talk about it later. It's okay. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, no, we can come back to it when you have it. You cut, and we get back to it.
I was thinking of colors of the Zune. There was a device called a Zune back in the day.
Yep.
And they had there were specific colors that were kind of cool, and I was just like, I haven't seen it, but now I'm just like, oh no, we got the better colors. I like this.
Yeah, it's got to have color. You're right.
Through that, yes, we want to make something chic. Really, that's the end point. As you can see, how the logo is being put it with the unified colors with white, and then you have this shade of colors that we still, it's our base. We really want to bring an enormous palette of colors. We love colors. That doesn't mean we take drugs, but we love to have a life full of colors. And yeah, Steve, you pointed out very well, customizing the colors, because maybe Matt like red and you like blue, you like more pink or purple stuff, and Matt maybe likes green or other stuff. Um, the color is very personal when it comes to wear something or to have the brand around it.
Mhm.
So there is really on the logo no more particular things, but we want you to understand how did we went to those colors. We wanted to create something very sophisticated through the fashion industry. We have diverse people around the team that's been in the fashion industry, and the best one to respond into the colors you have, of course, the painting world and all the artist world, but the fashion industry has always put up the colors in front of the line. So for each one of you, this gives you really a sense on how did we went to get those colors. There is no much more about it. It's just
Mhm.
see the view. We all love fashion. Madison love it. Steve too. We all love how to dress and combine colors together. You see through the fashion industry is you have this mix of colors that is really fantastic.
Is there any of the is there any colors on here that really stand out to you two? To you both? Any specific ones that you really like?
Me, I like the orange.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go too. That's funny.
That's
And actually, the pairing in the upper left, where there's sort of the rose and the light blue in those two
Mhm.
sets, because you can see that there's a lot of gradient in using the grays as
Yeah,
offsets for some of these, and that's
yeah,
actually what they're trying to do. And what's really amusing is that people forget that color sets your mood.
yeah,
Oftentimes, people will just grab what they've got, but there are other folks who like to grab what's going to set their mood. So they'll go in and pull something out and just go, it's an accent shirt, so I'm just going to wear this little thing. Where I want this. I just want a little. It's cold out, so maybe I'm going to get a really bright scarf today because it looks really muggy and icky, and I have to walk to work from the station. So why don't I grab a really bright scarf and I'll put that underneath my boring, dull coat. So that way you can always and they say accessorize, right, is usually the thing. If you can add something, which will just pop a little more color, and that's actually where we're going with it is, well, why not? I mean, of course, the standard user interface, that we're picking and we're putting together it shouldn't conflict with the band that you choose. It should just fit with it. And so many of the shades here are actually in some of the other panels. You can also see where our colors will come about.
I've also noticed that in a lot of media that is focused on like the near future or like a futuristic kind of a setting,
Mm-hmm.
colors that they go for are a lot of times, kind of slightly muted, and they're kind of like a not exactly a pastel, but like a darker version of it, kind of like that. And when I
Mm-hmm.
look at this gives me that future fashion feel, the future fashion colors right here. Like this is that, but like taking that step outside of that box that you traditionally see. It's like, yeah, but we're adding that splash that really shows your personality, that really kind of brings it out. So that's really, really cool.
you in this. So in
There we
this
go.
one, yes, that's a different one. So you pass from more pastel gray, more calm to more vibrant color in this one. I'm like I am like Steve. We orange for me. It's a orange and red
Mm-hmm.
colors. How they match between an orange one and a bit more not pastel, but much more quiet one. The red. even the blue shade one with this
orange.
little yellow orange makes very different. Here we have 4 other colors, and it's beautiful. And you can mix with so much color. That's, I don't know, me, I like mixing colors. Maybe you can wear a red and an orange with a gray, and wear something black with it. But you don't have to be full down always gray, black, white.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know, but me, I like wearing colors. I like having a red pants with blue socks, and maybe a white shirt, and very simple. Last time with Steve, he got a new pair of shoes in blue. He wanted it in black with the blue space. Yeah, I like really those type of colors. Which one do you prefer, the other one or the all those ones?
I am really enjoying the like the olive green color with an orange. Olive green with an orange with like maybe like a nice gray blue trim kind of going along the sides. I don't know. I really
Mhm.
am enjoying that. Yeah, definitely that green, the dark green and the orange together. That's what I'm thinking.
Cool.
That's cool. Well,
Yep.
if anybody, we can move into the different discussion. So this is so we're not really allowed to show you that. We keep it. Oh, yeah, we are. We do it, but we do, as we do
Yeah,
everything
it's
that's not allowed. We do it, Mattison. So
yeah.
Mattison, we do it. It's made for that. But this is us for an intern. But we really wanted to show you the complete set between colors, taste, fashion, sleek, liberty,
Movement.
freedom, movement.
Yep.
I don't know.
Movement's important as well. Yeah.
It
Uh,
looks like freedom. Like it gives me the feeling of being free and being able to do whatever you need to.
I can't do the same position. It's impossible.
Yeah. Nope.
Actually, nope.
Nope.
I might go back, take back my heels with me. Like, oh, this is my feet. So we're gonna go. This one we can show it after
Okay.
this slide. We can go after. We can go straight directly in this one. That's really explained about the storytelling, and then with the there is the storytelling, but we're not gonna go. But we wanted really to go on the second part to show you how the concept took shape, and how the basic architecture of the mini server was. Now we want to introduce between where we started, how the technology came through, and we will show the evolution to it. So the next slide, we could go on to that.
Well, on this, what's funny is that when I first spoke with Guillaume, this was the presentation to date. So that's at least a year, more than a year ago. And what's funny is, to me, this felt very Star Trekky, very, because the way that the pieces fit together, not the user interface, but the way the band fits with the face, the actual watch piece, it was different. I like where we are now, which is the video everyone saw in the beginning, where it's smooth, it's round, it's just
Right.
very interesting. So, but this is the old school view. Same mechanics, effectively, sliding the band off, locks in, showing you the parts that are inside, but it really, really, really just got jacked up into a really nice look now after we took some more discussions and thinking about how we wanted it to go.
So what exactly was that founding changing point, that founding pivotal point where you went from the first design to the one that we currently have?
I was going to say you touched on feeling free. And I always thought with color, there's movement, you'll sense movement, you can see it there. And this is very technical. And yet what you see now is much more smooth. The contours are smoother, the rounded edges, it just feels a little, I don't know, to me, it just feels a little smoother. And go ahead, Guillaume.
Well, no, I will even add. I will go add with you. what you were saying is true. We wanted to create a steel fighter, bring work on the curves of the product. Very important on how, with the time, the technology will shape your wristband. So to start, we always take something bulky, which was this one, and we start to put the foundation. Like every home, we put the foundation on it, and that's where it comes nice. Is that you will see how the product flows and evolves during the time. The real idea to the final product is have it as sleek, powerful, chic, fashionable, customize it, and that it takes part of your wristband. You need to use it in something that you wake up in the morning and it's something that, like your phone, you wear your phone every day, but we want you to make it to have this a piece of jewelry with you that is come from any types of people. That's why we went into the work, not being too for sorry if they're here the dogs. There's dogs just in front of my house.
Oh, it's excited. It's excited. It's ready.
Oh yes, that's why I still have my arms for now. Let's see
Dog,
if
yeah,
they-
dog wants to gnaw on one is what's going on.
we really
Yeah.
wanted to bring really something very sleek, and that with the time the products gets fits to you. Here you saw the colors right before it. Here you see it with a more visual way, and we're gonna explain you why there is two colors when we choose those ones. We choose those one for one reason. We want to in the design we want to create secrecy. We want to show you that one color is the privacy. That's why there is two colors. You have one from the inside and another one from the outside. The inside it's a more brighter color, but it's at the same time you have it with your wrist inside of it. So it's not a color that you see. And then you have another color from the outside that sits, gives you the view on all the people around it. So you have this little play of two colors that mix everything together. And we even named it. So this is what's pretty fun about how we name it. But
I've
I
got
would
the
like
names. I have them up. If you look from left to right, so the darkest one all the way out to the light blue one on the far edge. So the first one is Lunar Eclipse. The second one is Ruby Dawn. The third one is actually interesting because it's it was supposed it's blue. It's oyster blue is what it's called. So sort of like an oyster where you could see it in a dark blue sort of sense for it. And then my favorite's orange cream, which is what I'm wearing. And I didn't even think of it till I pulled it out of the closet. The last one's the Forest Grove, and the last one is Blue Ice. Those last two on the end, and Blue Ice is the other one. Yeah, say again.
You hit it.
You eat
today.
it?
You hit
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like you took the orange from the inside and the beige from the
You
outside.
eat it.
Yeah, it's like I could because it's very minty. The last one's minty. And anybody who grew up and was a little kid and used to get popsicles, the orange cream, what I was saying when I first saw the colors come out as we were discussing them in the beginning, they were being shown to me. I was like, that just reminds me of an orange sickle, which always had it had that bright orange outside, but inside was ice cream. And so you'd work your way through it. But then if it's hot out, you got to eat fast because it's sort of melting all over your hands. And then, well, now I get to wear it and I'm not going to get all sticky. It's going to be perfect. So I was like, I'm all for that one. And then I liked the ruby one because it's got a really nice accent to it. As the band progressed, where we were getting the mechanics together on how it would connect to, I always call it the head, but the watch portion, right? The main piece, the server itself is the head, and then the band will attach to it. As we were having those, we were going through those discussions, the mechanical discussions, and then how you can extend the band so that you can get a little extra sizing, and then how do we recharge it, and then what do we want to do with the face of the head? How does that work? Well, we really wanted things very smooth and curved, and then that's sort of how the color just sort of pushed it right into it. Anyway, it's cool.
Oh yes, Matt Pattison, what colors? You can say you want 2 or 3, but
I'm gonna get them all.
I
we will create more colors. Those are the first ones.
the more Steve talks about the orange, the more that
See,
does draw me because I really do love the orange. But my 1 and 2 is definitely the orange creamsicle. But the one next to it, the gray outside with like the green inside, I really enjoy that for
hmm
some reason.
yep.
There's something about that for me. It's just kind of like I don't know.
That's your fatigues. Your fatigues are growing on you again.
I
That's
mean,
the
yeah, maybe
problem.
that's
You're going into flashback mode, man. I can hear it.
yeah. Look at that.
It's out
It's
there.
green. I'm just like, ooh.
And it is very much so. And then anybody that likes, mints and gum, that's where the blue ice goes for me. But I also remembered my older sister lived in Alaska for many years, 14 years, and my wife Cheryl and I went up to go, and we got on a Mildenhall Glacier, which is in Juneau, and that blue, when you see that ice blue that's coming through on a glacier, that glacial ice, it looks a lot like that. I'm like, yeah, I have to have that one, of course. Well, then I have to have the ruby one, and then I just have to have the one that's called Lunar Eclipse, just because it's named Lunar Eclipse. It's just like, why not, right? And it'll be a dress color, right? So yeah, you can't stop, right? And then the blue one's gonna be nice dark blue. Yeah, you're right. Where do you go?
And you can change it, have it to the beach, or when you go outside. It's really particular. So in here, after looking at the design, we're gonna go a bit on the technical aspect, because last time we discussed about it, but we didn't have a little animation and explain more about the battery. All this technology, it's put it into a very teeny, as you say, Steve always, very teeny, teeny to petty, very little product, and you can see here how much to petty.
Right?
Yes, you add all that, you see the technology that is inside. We're gonna go and explain, re-explain a bit more later on with the full design, the technical aspect of it. But here you see really a general aspect. There is absolutely no GPS. There is no sensors. There is absolutely none of all those components. It's really a mini server. What we took is we took a processor, memory, and which is called the motherboard. For those people who don't know, that's the little green piece that stick all the components in one. And we added NFC, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. And because it's so sleek, which we will go more on the size, and it's a 9 millimeter thickness, the battery has been put it into the wristband, which make a complete product with a swappable battery and a customized colors. So the colors that you see right now are just the starting point of colors. Then Steve and Mattison has already in their head maybe 20 other different colors that they want to create already. Our branding department is going to get crazy at the end of the day. But it's really show you the power of it. You, Steve, and Mattison, when you see something there is no added value, very simple thing inside of it. Through the design, it shows you how powerful this product can be in a very nice and beautiful and sleek product. I don't know if you have any sold for the battery, but we've been really looking for providers battery around the United States to be able to produce and have a flexible battery with as much as energy inside, storage inside, where you can just swap it in and you change your style when you want. So Steve was saying, oh, I would like to have an orange. And you can go on orange to go to the meeting, and then you go to the beach, he takes the blue, and he can do that in the middle of Glacier Park, in the middle of, I don't know, the moon, or it's a big
yeah,
but
it's super cool to see all of that. Not necessarily condensed, but all of the tech, all of that important, high tech stuff, all put together in like a small kind of package, and it to to work and it to like push out so much greatness. You know what they say?
Well, and you used the right word, is condensed. It is condensed because 9 millimeters thick is ridiculously thin. If anybody
Right.
grabs, like, not many people think in terms of millimeters in the US, but bummer to them. But it's teeny. It's really thin. It's ridiculously thin.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I
And
have
we
to go
have
back to another movie
memories.
because I got to use another movie though. I need one more movie. It's another movie reference. So I did one on the last one. It's
Go
only
on.
wafer thin. It's only wafer thin.
Wafer thin.
Wafer thin. So you've got to use British accent. It's only wafer thin.
It's only
That's that phrase is uttered by John Cleese, and he is talking to Mr. Creosote, who has eaten so much that he decides he's going to give him a mint, and he goes, "I'm full," and he goes, "It's only wafer thin." This is so thin, and yet we're packing a lot of power inside it, and this is very similar to the band color when you think about it, because on the outside it just looks like, oh yeah, it's just this band, it's just this thing, it's just a watch. But if you knew what was inside, it's the same idea with the bands, right? It's really bright on the inside, the outside's kind of muted, and it's complementary, it's nice. But once you get inside, once you crack it open, there's a lot of stuff going on in there, even inside the band.
That's cool.
So after showing that, we're going to go a bit more in how the design evolves. So we're going to really explain the direction and what are the results through those thinking. So we were in the actual of the design a bit bulky, and as you can see, the design changed completely. Why? Because we really wanted to add a lot more stuff onto it, like the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC bottom, which are being shown here. We added so many materials onto that, and we wanted to make something like a jet fighter, very thin, sleek, but really look nice onto that. I don't know if you have any thoughts for some of you who have seen it before or not. But here it shows you very well that even with the bottom on the side, we started to try to play with colors, even on the bottom. We really want to go in all the detail of the product, which is that's what we're creating. We create a product.
There's a great deal of attention to detail. Like, it's very, very clear that there was attention to detail here, and each little part was specifically crafted and paid attention to. And that's very
Lots
much
of discussion,
appreciated.
and you're right, lots of discussion, yet no arguments. There wasn't any, you know what I mean? There it was like, well, what about this? What about this feel? How about that? You know, it was very much a good creative process. It was fun.
Well, there's nothing more. So as you can see here, there is no point of attachment down. So we had this little problem when we started with the design, saying how do we change the band? Do we clips it and we have one type of wristband, or should we have a connector in the middle? I think it's connector. We say,
Yep.
I think so.
You're right.
Would there be different sizes?
So in this one, yes, there will be different sizes.
Right now, the drawing you see looks very fixed because it is. That was our original concept designs. We hadn't gotten into resizing, the ability to resize the band, nor in the different types of it. And the connector you can see isn't even finished, right? The pole that the device slides on. Those things were like, yep, we'll deal with that later. You know, it's like, are we going to have this, you know, done a certain way? How do we want it to fit? We wanted it to, you know, get as close to the shape of a wrist as you can get, right? Which will increase the comfort of it. Many of the other ones don't curve as well. And that was something that we all said, yes, we want to keep that. We have to keep that. I'd rather have it feel really nice.
And then it was the component part we chose inside, because having a 40 millimeters wrist large to put so many components onto it. Remember the discussion on the parts. We take this one, no. We take this one, no. But this one is too big. No, this one has no enough security. Oh, this one are made in another country. Oh, this one are made. Oh, it was a hell of a discussion we had to try to put as much as technology in a so small size. That was the most fun part of it. A bit like Uno, we were discussing about Les 100. Oh, how was this game? The French one with the
Mille-born.
100. Oh yes,
Mille-born. Yes, Mille-born. So if anybody played the card game Mille-born, my sister and I grew up on it, and it snapped as a memory in when we were talking about something, and it's milestones, really truly road milestones. It's a card game, and we just thought about, what are we going to do if we want to do this, we want to do that, and you want to make sure that you pick the right things as you build your, from beginning to end, and all the things that we were paying attention to was the ensuring that the parts that are inside are safe for everyone to use. And most people think safe meaning, it doesn't catch on fire. No, I mean safe like people aren't hacking. People don't have stuff on the inside that no one else can see. We want to make sure that everyone that owns one of these knows that, it looks sleek, but it's also sleek on the inside. We're making sure that those parts on the inside, and our partners are very keen to help us with that. And and when you have very limited space to work with, and it's very NASA-like, right? It's like, well, you only get so much because the payload can only be so big, and bummer. So you better figure it out. It's time to figure it out. Like
you start throwing everything else out. We don't need seats. Exactly. We don't need seat belts.
Exactly. Seats?
We don't need brakes. We'll be fine.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Yeah, it's all that's like things get removed. So
absolutely. Right.
Let's go.
There we go.
This is where we finalize our design. So this is the last version. This is the exact design that we came up with. This is the exact product that our early adopters will have it in hand at first. We will dedicate all the design, all the product to them. So we're going to go a bit more on discussion, more on the technical side, more on its design side. But as you can see from the second version, we kept the Wi-Fi bottom and NFC, but we now introduce it with the logo inside of it. So more easier to press. We play with colors around it. And as you can see, the mini server started to get slicker. We added so much detail into it, even on the rounded part where we want this little titanium, because of course the cylinder on the design breaks the whole piece of it. But to do that, we really want to complete the design and have a fully designed product into it. This is really the product that our early adopters, and this is the one that will come into the market right now.
And there's a phrase that we used to use a long time ago called fit and finish. And you really want to have fit and finish when you're going through these types of things. If you're trying to make a product where you want everybody to just go, you know what? I love the way it looks. I like the way it feels. They should look and color. The senses are what you want to touch on. And that's, to wrap it all up, that's our brand really and truly when you get into it, is we want to make sure it feels good. It looks good. It's bright. It's colorful. You get your own choices, et cetera, et cetera. That's really what we want to be able to do. So people can go, wow, I really like that product. What are they making next? Or what are they going to do? That's what we want. We want people to ask for, what are you going to do next? Lots.
It is really cool seeing the first one. And this, like seeing that side by side, seeing how that evolved and it changed and how these thoughts and ideas came together. And it's really, really cool to see like this is the outcome. Like it's like you literally smooth the edges. You know what I mean? You really gave it that varnish, gave it that finish, and you added this, you added that, a little dash of color. I can just imagine y'all being like mad scientists, like just like and then lightning happening all around. Like that's what I see right now. But it is a very, very beautiful product, and exactly how you described it before. Sleek is definitely a word I would use to describe it. It reminds me of like a concept car almost, but like one that actually works.
Like sleek and chic.
Yeah, exactly.
Meat and cheek. So it's the freak. Sorry, no, never mind. That's totally easy. Sorry, can't go there. Got to be careful. That's her copyright. Don't want to touch on it, but
Just don't start singing.
but it
you're
is.
fine.
No, it's one of my favorite songs though, so I just had to go there. It's like, oh, sleek.
That's all right. That is all right. I have a question for you both, actually.
Cool.
So I know that you mentioned that the battery is within the band itself. But what really was that? You might have already answered it, I might have missed it. But what exactly was that? You know what? Let's just have it slide in. Like why exactly did that come about? Because it makes sense, and I don't know why you don't see that often anymore. So, like, why exactly is the band sliding into the actual server itself? Is the idea?
The idea of sliding, it's you can take it and put it very easily. It's the quickness of mounting the energy or the power to the product. And this helps to customize the product. And it's very solid. The actual sliding structure helps you to not being grabbed by any people who comes try to grab your wristband, or when you are in different type of situation, um, like deep diving, like Steve loves diving, or me, I love bodyboarding, or if there is people who are on the United States Air Force, we have two people here from the United States Air Force. So when you have pilots in different situation, the band, it's when it's in, it's locked, totally locked, and it gives really the energy because the battery's on the wrist directly to the band, to the whole system. Sorry. So it's made for that. It's made for high condition. It's made for high temperature. It's made that it's easy. Even with one hand, you should be able to put another one and put the one back on. That's why the sliding mechanism was created to that. And it's not like some other product. It's just you clips it. You have a clip. You have to turn it around. You have to press something. No, here you just press it from each side, and the whole system gets out, and you change it again. It's nearly like loading a weapon. I know we can talk about that, but it's really like even loading a movie. When you press it, instantly.
I love the parallel.
Exactly.
Right,
And
right.
And where you're going is if you think about every other thing that you could wear that requires power, the worst part is you usually think about the key fob for your car. How do you change the battery? You got to tear it all apart. You got to get into the case, then you pop the battery out. Then you go, oh crap, I got to go back to CVS. I bought the wrong battery. So you go back to CVS, but no. We want to make sure that if you feel like your battery sucks, you should be able to get a new band and just slide it right in, because the solid state sort of product that's in the server itself, that doesn't degrade. What degrades are batteries. They usually lose their livelihood after a while. If that's mounted inside, the first thing is if that's inside, now you have to give somebody a bunch of other ways to break into it. And then you have to make sure that it maintains, water resistant and waterproof and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, so then they have to send it in, and then they don't get to keep their device. They can't keep their own mini server because they had to send it in to get a new battery. Well, that sucks. Nobody wants to wait 3 weeks. And then they start feeling like they're being used. Here's another part to who we are and our brand, right? No, I don't want you to feel like this should suck for you. You should be able to just go pop in a new band. And when you start feeling like maybe it's not holding its power as well or something, go on the website, order a new band, get sent to you, charge it, pop it in, start switching it out with the one that you currently have. And you realize, you know what, it's actually not doing so bad. It turns out I've been streaming a lot. So maybe it's not the band. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one that's eating up all the power. And voila, that is true. You're the one consuming all the power. But the nice part is you just pop the band out, and now you're just move on. We want to make it easier for you to keep going and not have to lose that part of you that you really don't want to stick it in a box and send it back, or you don't want to have to go find some place where you can go, exchange it or whatever. You bought the wrong battery or some other dumb thing. That's not cool. And what if we change our technology later? Well, we're going to maintain the same mechanism and we change the battery technology someday. Well, you should still be able to keep using your own mini server you bought 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Who cares? You just pop it right in. Same power, better product, something else like that. Why would we want to force you to have to go off and over accessorize unless you want the accessory, like you want the different colors we just came out with, or you want the different fabric we just created? Same battery, same technology, just looks different. It's a different color for you, and you just pop it right in.
That's okay. So that's first off, that is very convenient for the person who decides to get the O mini server, because we see that all the time. And a few other entities, that happens all the time, where you have to get a new thing every 6 months, every 8 months, or they completely change everything. And now everything you collected over the past 10 years, you have to get rid of because it won't work anymore.
Now, I worked at a company that doesn't exist anymore, and it was called, at the time, it was called Palm Solutions Group. And I remember we were in the middle of meetings, and the meetings that you're having when you're going to release a new product, can we use the same, charging brick? Can we use the same connector? Can we use the same? Because why not? If somebody already had the thing, why would we go make them go get another one? Let's say they had one of our other devices, and it just so happens the recharging mechanism is the same. So the plug's the same. And then the brick, well, you could just use the brick you had before. Why would we force you to go off and have to buy brand new accessories every time? Well, you know why you do it, because it adds revenue for the company. But I know it added to me in the meetings, where I used to leave those meetings just like dragging my feet on the carpet going, man, this sucks. I'm going to do it again. So now I'm going to have to give somebody a new product, and they're going to have to buy a new brick and get a new thing and a new and then if they ever needed to change it, they can't, because now we've end of life that particular recharging. You're like, oh my Lord, like people are just like, you all suck. And it's like, I know, that's how they're getting the money out of you. We're like, no, you buy one and done. You buy it. Now, if you feel like your battery isn't operating the way you like, yes, it's probably you. But if you feel like your battery's not operating correctly, you order a new band. And when you find out it works the same, you're like, clearly it's me. And I've just isolated the problem. So why not, right? It's like,
you want too much music.
Yeah, that would be me. I have 1,500 songs on my playlist. So yeah, I have a lot of music. But yeah, so when you're into that, right? If you're streaming a lot, you're going to eat a lot of battery. Everyone that buys our first ones out of the gate here, everyone that's getting this particular version gets an extra band, just because we want to give you an extra band. So pick a different color, get one color you're like. Maybe you want the dressy one. Maybe you want maybe I want the lunar eclipse because I don't, want, and then I want the creamsicle, So
of course.
You get two, right? But then you're also going to find out whether or not you're the one using all the power. Or is it we want to make sure that you're happy. And that's who we are. That's really what we're about. Is you should be really easy to just exchange it. So you can just put in a new band, or now you've recharged one and you've got it sitting on, on the side table and it's charging. And then you come in and you can plug it in when the one you're wearing is starting to, or you just decided I wanted to wear the orange one today. I don't want to wear the dark gray one. So
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you both. So is there a feature of this product that you personally just really enjoy? Is there a very specific feature that you're like, I really love this. I don't know why. I just love this for some reason.
Me, there is two features. One is that I can take out all my data. Sorry for the dog, but I will give him something after to thank him for the noise. This is the way that I can take out all my data from my phone. That's for me the most interesting part. Don't have anymore my emails, my text messages, my contacts, all my calendars, my personal business calendar, my private calendar that will not be able to be shared with nobody else. No other Fortune 500 will ever scan again or update my little data, which is the most, for me, greatness and the ability to be able to share with other people, with other devices and other people. And the second one is the power of being listening to my MP3 music in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
And
Steve.
and he's like, yeah, he doesn't have to worry about storage. And for me, I think the top of the list for me is being able to provide something to people that solves something they didn't know was a problem, but it's something they complained about, right? They're just sitting there. And for me, those complaining things are because of the product companies I've been at in the past. I already named it just moments ago, which is constantly changing connectors and stuff and making me have to go buy more stuff. And I just don't like that. I don't want to do that anymore. So that to me is a feature. It really is. I don't want you to feel like I'm charging you for everything or I'm nickel and diming you when you're leaving the store. You know, I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to go, this is great. Wait, that's all I get? And then you're like, wait, that's all I have to buy. It's like, yes, that's all you have to buy. I'm not coming back to you. Go, oh, and that other thing you wanted, you know. Oh, and
We never have to meet again.
and it's not and that's actually kind of a bummer, but I have a feeling we'll be getting a lot of comments coming in through the website, right? Because people go, man, you guys rock. This is awesome. I just got mine and I realized I have everything I need. And the other feature is the convenience of having all of that with me, and the fact that my biggest complaint, and it's not just me, I'm not the only one in this house that complains about this particular problem, but it's a hidden problem for most, is that if you have more than one, I'm just going to use device loosely, in your house, that once you have all of your files on that device, and let's say it's your phone, or maybe it's your iPad, or maybe it's something else you've got, right? Whatever that thing is, right? Just some device. And you've got all your files there. And then you realize, oh, like, you know, my daughter just came home to visit from school and she's got her phone and she can't watch any of the videos or actually stream any of the music because she may like one of the playlists that I have, but she can't access it. She can now. She comes home, she immediately pairs, she's good to go. She's watching the videos that I've already stored. So they're already there. So it's all the Christmas movies that they want to watch, or it's all the whatever it is, right? But they don't watch the comedies I watch. They also don't watch the sci-fis I watch. But
but the options there.
you raise your kids to be independent. You don't raise your kids to be a clone of you, right? It's like so you know. But when they come home, I want them to have the freedom to be able to say, "Hey, now can we stream that Christmas movie up on the TV?" Well, of course we can. But we don't have to go and figure out where's the 2 terabyte drive plugged into the computer in the back office. Now, am I going to drag that thing all the way up into the living room and plug it in? Oh, no, I don't have the right cable. Shoot, now I got to get an HDMI cable. Oh, no, the drive doesn't use an HDMI cable. It's USB. Oh, no, it's USB-A, not B. No, it's USB-C. No. It's like, all these cables. I'm going to get rid of the cables. I want to get rid of all that crap. I just want you to be able to watch what you want or listen to what you want wherever you are, and not have to think about it to the point where all of a sudden you're going to try to play something, go, where's my old mini server? I can't find it. Like, I realize I'm not playing anything. Damn it. You know, and you just like look around the room going, I should have been wearing it. It's like, I guess I forgot. But you know what? Put it in your pocket. Like, if you really don't want to, you know, maybe there was some other reason. Well, just stick it in your pocket, zip it up, and off you go. Right? I want the freedom to not have to worry about anything. And I want it to be lightweight, sleek and chic. That's where we're going.
And I will add, adding cryptocurrencies and NFT. This is a cool stuff to it, because now you don't need keys. You don't need the same thing you say, have my sticky hard drive and my external things, and get about with the codes and get back to the servers from far away and so on.
Forget your password.
Oh
yeah.
And remember it, which is the most problematic. And then I can just shovel all my cryptocurrency NFT there, lock it, get out, and I can go anywhere in the world with all my money inside.
And the best part is you don't even have to worry about, so I don't know, we've got rough weather, but it's not that bad. Sorry, everybody. I live in California. We don't have that bad of weather. But when it did storm,
you told me it's raining a lot over there. I don't know if you have to.
Yeah, and then we had a tree. There was a tree that kind of like fell, and it like, you know, and it snapped one of the lines, and so we were out of power. Guess what? I have this and my other band, so I've got full power I can now still listen to my music. I can still stream. I can still do things that I want. And the power's out in the house. But I'm still listening on my headphone, and I've got my little recharge brick because most people have one of those when they're like a road warrior or whatever. They always have one laying around where they can recharge something. Well, now I can recharge my band, which won't take up very much. I can recharge, my if I had Bluetooth headphones or whatever that require recharging, I'm good. I'm still listening to my music. I could still be watching. Well, if my TV worked, I could still be streaming. You know what I mean? But maybe it's going to my my pad or whatever, right? My tablet. So there you go. Why not?
You, Mattison,
Mhm.
what are the features?
Um,
You ask question, we ask question.
I see. Ask the question back.
Turnabout's fair play, buddy.
Right. Well, to be honest,
you want to use the Joker or you want to go on?
Well, kind of piggybacking off of what y'all said. For me personally, I work with a lot of media, work with a lot of like pictures and video and music and stuff like that. So just the idea of having everything that I need right on me at all times, and I don't have to go digging in my bag for I don't have to go digging in my bag for like an external hard drive. I don't have to like pull a whole bunch of other things out. I have everything that I possibly would need all in one spot directly on me at once. And it just, I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it just because of just how amazing it would be to have less, to have more with less. You know what I mean?
Less is more.
Really, yeah. To be able to be minimal as much as we possibly can. That is something that I really love.
And the technology inside is, when you have 32 gigabytes of RAM, of memory, like you have a phone, you are with your laptop, you're in the middle of concert or even doing a podcast in the middle of nowhere. You just need your phone and the mini server, maybe your tablet or your laptop. That's it. No more cables. You plug everything and connect everything through the servers. This is a beast. Like you remember, Steve, last time, if someone can beat me on saying we can charge as much as we can, it's like when you have to clean your clothes, you charge as much as the machine can, and you just adding flows off everywhere. It's really a powerful beast. It's sapphire screen glass. It's titanium case. It will be able to resist. Even how was it the slapping contest? Where they slap their face.
Oh, that's.
We should try it with a mini server onto it if it resists.
I'm not doing it. What the heck are you talking about? I'm not doing that.
Absolutely not.
I'll try.
When you see their head move, I'm like, nah, there's some serious brain damage.
I saw one video where like someone got hit and like his ears started bleeding, and I'm just like, how? What happened?
Yeah, that's not good. Not good.
No, it's not. It is not good.
Yeah, and if you actually go to search, and when you look at this, the tech specs, if you go to search for a mini server, if you want a mini server that you could just put on your desktop somewhere sitting near you or whatever, and it's going to have all your files and it's going to allow you. So there's a couple of things that you're never going to find in mini server, which is why we call it a mini server. And ours, that's what you're going to find, is that it's not portable. Any mini server you try to buy nowadays, it's funny, they even had a mini server which fit in a rack system, like for a computer company. I'm like, what are you kidding? That's not a mini server, that's a rack server. So anyway, it was kind of like, this whole idea of a mini server should be a little thing. And so I started looking at like, how big is one of these things? It's like 11 inches by 7 inches and 3 inches tall. He's like, what? That's almost that's like a sheet of paper. That's pretty big, that's not mini to me. It is, but it's not. So now you're like, all right, so if I could get the same, turns out you can get much more RAM. We're putting a lot more RAM in for the processor to work on. So there's more RAM in there. It's 32 gig of RAM. That's a lot of RAM for a processor, especially a quad core. And then you turn around and you go, well, okay, so normally they're going to give you 8. So you have to pay extra. You're going to pay extra to get 16 gig of RAM. You're going to pay extra to get 32 gig of RAM. Right. So your price keeps going up. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, storage. What am I going to get for the amount of storage I can put on my files? Well, you'll probably find 256 gig. But if you want to go to 512, jack up another $200 or $300. Oh, you want to get to a terabyte? Well, that's $500 extra. Oh, and just remember that mini server you just bought has to remain plugged into the wall, plugged into the back of your computer, and doesn't get to go with you. So if you're sitting on an airplane and you want to use that mini server, have a nice day. Hasta lasagna. It's not going to happen. You can't, because you need full, you probably need 110 or 220 power. So you're stuck, unless you paid for extra legroom seats on the airplane, which has one power plug beneath your leg. That's all you're going to get. You know what I mean? You're stuck. So why wouldn't I want this? Like, it's like I'm out the same amount, but nobody could see it if I'm wearing a coat because it's underneath my sleeve. They'd have no clue it was there. Nothing up my sleeve. Presto. Anyway, sorry, that's a cartoon reference. Like
magic
cartoons.
Magic tricks.
There you go.
Very, very cool. The dimensions here, like, I get it.
It's small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So big guy like me, how small would this look on a big guy like me? You know what I mean? Like, I look like I play football. Okay.
How tall are you?
How tall am I? I'm 6'1".
How much is in centimeters? 6'1"?
Oh, why are you throwing out that? Come on, man.
I'm still the other side of the Atlantic Ocean in measures.
How many? I don't know.
How is 6'1"?
Go to convert.
Conversion chart.
6'01" or 6'1"?
73 inches.
Yeah, 73 inches. I know that. So now it's like old school math. But so how many centimeters are in?
Just don't ask him how cold it is outside.
I'm tall enough. Okay.
Tall, yes.
Yeah,
so next to
tall.
you are here, and I'm just right there.
Oh no!
We'll have to put my hands up to say you hello, something like this, or I might use a little chair to bring it with me.
But Madison, it doesn't matter. You're going to be sleek, say chic.
Right, it won't matter.
So you're
sleek.
So now you're le freak now, so it doesn't matter.
Okay,
you're all set
all right.
up.
Hey, I'm down, baby. That sounds cool.
Pick the bright color. Pick the bright color. Everybody will see it.
Yeah, I like it. I really.
Madison, you can take me in your bag now. You don't need to take the server. You put me in the bag. You take the mini server, and now you can go. You can go for podcast and even play music.
Thank you.
Even you can play music, have your microphone, and put everything straight directly into it with the group, and you put me in your backpack, and I can go out sometimes like this.
I like it. Hey, that sounds like a good partnership. We'll make it work.
We'll do it. That's why everything is tiny.
But yeah, this is so cool, man. Like, just the design, the dimensions, everything that's inside of it, the plans for the future, seeing where it started, it's like, the nerd boy in me is just like, doing fist pumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is great.
Or like in the basketball with the hands, with the finger that goes.
Foam
Exactly.
fingers, yeah. Number one foam finger. So,
Yeah, exactly.
And the band, you asked about size, because we have all the main sizes, and then you're allowed to expand that just a little bit. So the nice part
is that
you
where it
can-
clips
you
right
can
there?
actually- yeah, those two little at the bottom, and that's also how you're going to put the charger. The charger will actually connect down there, so that way we're not messing around with the upper part. That's all the way down on the bottom part, which is great. And then you don't have to worry about it. It'll just charge both sides of the band for you.
It's very smart.
And
it's just
this
sitting
part
there.
is in titanium, so you have all this part is in titanium because you have the mechanical part inside of it. So everything is in titanium. We want the highest standard in terms of quality and material we can put inside.
We actually asked the Air Force if we could cycle the SR-71 and use all the titanium shell that they use, but they said no.
Well, fair enough.
I was kind of bummed. I'm like, dude, seriously? You got all that laying around? Can't we just use it?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
But next time.
Yeah.
Round 3.
We'll have to
So
cut
to
a
respond to
video.
your question, every colors we didn't ask. Every colors will have 5 bands of size. That we will cover 100% of all the sizes, and as Steve mentioned very well, this could be able to width up to 14 millimeters each band.
Wow.
So even if you have it a bit loose, or sometimes you're in the shower or your wrist get a bit bigger, or you can whip just a bit, and you are much more fresh, and you have a bit of air, because when when some stuff are too close, it's always start to smell. So at least you can make it breathe for sometimes.
Oh, that's funny.
It was really cool to have you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any other thoughts, any question, or you
Run the
want to
video.
add. And now the video.
Yeah, I love the video.
Um,
Although it doesn't, I think the system doesn't play the sound, huh? So everybody will have to go to the site and go.
Oh,
there it is.
Christopher Nolan.
yeah, we wanted James Bond at the start, but copyright, big problem. It's like a heartbeat.
Das Boot.
Yeah. It's nearly like Red October, the movie. Or
Yeah. That's why it's Das Boot or Red October, right? It's kind of that. I like that sound in the back. It's like somebody's tapping on like something inside a submarine, right there. Tap tap tap. And just like
Right.
yeah, this is when you start to get crazy. Everybody kills each other, and it goes like an horror movie. It starts to be between action and horror movie.
That's good.
So
That's
see,
good.
last week we were nerding out, talking tech, talking why servers are a certain way. We were trying to let everybody understand that there's a lot on the inside, but this particular episode is good because then everyone gets to understand who we are. Like why does it look the way it does? Why you're thinking about feeling, you're thinking about color, you're thinking about fit and finish, you're thinking about, is it easier for them to buy it and use it, and what if they feel like they need something changed? Well, the only thing they should worry about changing is a battery, and I don't want to hassle that. I really don't. I want everybody to it's hassle free. So not Hasselhoff, he's an actor. Hassle free is where I'm going.
David Hasselhoff,
Yes. Knight Rider, total nerd out, man.
Oh, Knight Rider. What was called the
Kit.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So just so everybody knows, your Omni server isn't going to talk to you. Sorry. If you thought your Omni server was going to say something to you, it won't. It doesn't have a Cylon light on it either. Yeah.
Charge me. Charge me.
Charge you this Cylon. It's like, no, it's really mad at me now. I should have charged it. Like, charge me.
Right. Fantastic.
Madison, nothing more?
No, I'm all good. I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the conversation. I learned a lot.
Yeah, and this time we made it. We
just go too far.
We are good for that.
Oops.
But at least we didn't went to 150. We are on 180, so we not bad.
Yeah, did all right.
Cool. Yeah, for the second time, that's nice.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah. So please remember, y'all, if you want to go buy some, if you want to go get your pre-sales, go to ominiserver.com. All right.
Yep. Go for it.
It's open. Ready to go.
Here.
You get the limited edition.
So please pre-order. We will explain you why we do this pre-order on the next. So the next podcast we will talk about security and technology, which will be the next one for next week. We'll go a bit deep dive on functionality. What is the security at the back? Yep, I would take 2 bottles, one of beer and another one of whiskey, to go deep dive on that. We will go straight on this podcast next week, and we hope that everyone enjoy that. We're having fun. It's really something that we do all together. This is not just a company, but it's a group of friends that now are gathering around something to create humanity. Apart from that, I know it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, is it?
Shiri. Oh, I don't have. Okay, so that's cool. At least I only have the dogs. At least
Yeah.
that's good.
It's just
Yeah.
me
So for all those
and
people,
this guy. So
oh, so sweet.
all right. Well, have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's to everyone. Enjoy.
Yep.
And see you next week for the next adventure. It will be the latest tomorrow, next podcast. So it will be a series of 5 podcasts. We already have 2. So no more. So we have 3 more, and we will close our podcast. This is for us the best way for you to discover what's the secret sauce. Have a great night. Happy Valentine's. Choose lasagna. Afi the same. We have to finish a bit more. Find a way to finish it. Of course.
Good night, everyone.
But the only one
Yeah.
that's happy off is Martinson. So to finish the close, we ask Martinson to be the one that's good live and that ends out. So
Okay.
he's the only one. Come on, go for it because we're gonna stay an hour more.
No.
See you, everyone.